But
Yeah,
whatever you think.
yeah, it's good.
Good.
Yeah.
So I had my second eye surgery. It went really well. I have 20/20 vision now.
Oh, nice.
20/20.
No more glasses.
Just for reading now. That's all. So I can see distance. I can probably see from here to your place. But
Nice.
yeah, so I traded, having better reading ability for being able to see distance. So I plan on driving for a long time.
Hmm.
And I do live in the country, so I need to be able to get in. Buses only come once every 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm too old to hitchhike.
Yeah, and now uh you guys are having the ice cream store open all around the year, right? So
Sorry, we're in the what?
your ice cream store is going to be open all around the year, so
Yes. Yes.
needing
Thanks
more
for
work.
so my bus is at 1:36.
Hmm.
Our vehicle's in the city because we had a bear get in our
Oh,
vehicle.
still hasn't been repaired?
It, we had a bear trash the inside of our vehicle.
Yeah, you told me.
So we're gonna pick it up. Hopefully in the this week sometime. But for now, it's the bus at 1:36. So it's good time
Hmm.
as long as I'm mindful.
Yeah.
So if you find me yakking on, you can remind
You
me.
can finish few minutes early if you want to leave.
Yeah, and my main concern is not going over too long because I
Hmm.
do to be a good listener. Anyway, and it says this meeting is being live streamed, so I'm going to say okay.
Yeah,
And of course, the EB is here.
of course. Not running around today.
Yeah, he probably will be. I fed him a pretty good breakfast, so.
Hmm.
But I can hear him because I can hear the little pitter patter of his feet.
Okay, I'll let everybody in. Then you
Okay.
can start. And I'll put you on gallery view.
Sure.
And then spotlight. So now you can change your side.
Okay, thank you. It's going to come in a little closer, I think.
Hmm.
So, good afternoon or morning. Actually, good day. I guess depending on where you're tuning in from. So, I'm delighted to have this opportunity to share a chair yoga practice with you. My name is Bobbie, and my pronouns are she, her. And I'm blessed to live in a little community called Half Moon Bay on the Sunshine Coast in BC. And so I do have a little bunny rabbit who is pretty active right now. So if you see a little brown bunny with hippie hair hopping around, and know that you're not hallucinating. He's the real deal, and his name's Evie. So a lot of us are tuning in from home. Of course, your pets, fur kids are welcome. And so an invitation, as always, to begin a yoga practice by finding a comfortable sitting position. And so everything I share with you today will be done seated from the chair. Roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then as you're ready, I'd like to invite you to really tuck your chin in slightly. And then as ready, reach your arm up as high as feels comfortable for you. So I tend not to cue left, right in our body's wisdom. We tend to go to the side that's least tight first. And then slowly float your arm down. 3 more times, same side, gentle movement, reaching up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. If it feels okay for your neck, maybe turn a soft gaze, looking up where the seam in the ceiling meet the wall. Slowly float your arm down. This time, an invitation to explore linking your breath with your movement. On inhale, reach up, full length of your inhale. On exhale, float your arm down, the full length of your exhale. So as if on our inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Relax both arms down by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then I'd like to invite you to explore this gentle movement on the other side. That said, if you are blessed with a yoga buddy who would like to help guide the movements, of course, not doing the work for you, by all means, that would be amazing. And so here we go. Reach your arm up, opposite side this time, as high as feels comfortable for you. And then slowly float your arm down. 3 more times, same side, gentle movement, reaching up towards the sky. So maybe your eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall, if that feels okay for your neck. And slowly float your arm down. So 2 more times, same side. And this time, maybe exploring linking our breath with our movement. On inhale, reach up, full length of your inhale. On exhale, float your arm down, the full length of your exhale. It's as if on our inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Relax both arms down by your side or wherever feels comfortable for you. This time, let's explore reaching both arms up to the sky. If it feels okay for your neck, take a look between your palms and notice if they're facing each other, and then return your gaze on the horizon. And palms face down. Release your arms down. Nice. Now just do a little wiggly fidget, so you can do a little bum dance. Woohoo! So I'd like to invite you to consider, maybe as an intention for the practice today, a phrase that I love, I oft repeat, is I am, I can, and I will. If you have an area of your body or condition you'd like to work on, if you'd like to set an intention in that regard, or lastly, as a choice, if you'd like, if you know someone that you know could would really appreciate a prayer, a little bit more love, you could visualize that person in front of you. You could silently say their name and then wishing them happiness and that they might know the root of all happiness. So your choice, your practice, whatever resonates with you. And so here we go. So let's repose. So I'd like to invite you now, if possible, to come away from the back of the chair now so that you are supporting your own spine. If you feel you need the back of the chair for support today, I don't have any of my yoga toys with me today, but if you're at home, you might have something that you can place along your spine, like a rolled up yoga mat, whatever works for you to support your spine. So yoga meets us wherever we are. And then I'd like to invite you to see if you can sit forward on your sits bones. So the bones we sit on. So in a way, when we're seated in the chair, sits bones act like the feet of our pose. And then roll your shoulders up, back and down. Soft, organic movements, nothing rigid. And then maybe alternate from side to side. And then forward, down and back. However, that said, mostly we want to be opening up our chest, our heart, our lungs. So up, back, and down. And again, little wiggly fidget. So from here, I'd like to transition into a warm up. So beginning with our head, bring your chin gently towards your chest. In your time, as you feel your neck is ready, turn a soft gaze looking up. So it feels okay for your neck, maybe your eyes meet where the seam meets the wall. And then an invitation to continue this gentle warm up for the cervical area of our spine in your own time and rhythm. If you'd like to add a little half smile, like a little Buddha smile, smiling releases saliva. So we want a nice juicy mouth and juicy body. And I happen to know, some things I know for sure, smiles are contagious. So there you go. And so finish up the movement that you're on. And then when you're ready, sitting up nice and tall, however, your breath is still long and smooth and easeful as you take one ear towards your shoulder. Allow your shoulders to soften away from your ears. And then move your head from side to side. And I'd like you to notice, how does it feel maybe to tuck your chin in slightly to practice these gentle movements? As ready, bring your head back to center and then turn a soft gaze looking past your shoulder. Only turn your head as far as feels comfortable for you. And then maybe turning your head from side to side as if nodding no. Finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to neutral spine. Relax your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. Take a moment. Then from here, we'll transition into a practice called cat and cow, or kitten and cow, depending on what's going on with your spine. So if you have osteopenia, if you might have something else going on with your spine where a huge flexion or extension is contraindicated, please honor that. And your piece will be, instead of cat, it'll be kitten. You just won't go into the forward fold in the back movement as deeply. And so what I would like to do is continue to invite you to stay seated facing forward so that you can see me. However, I'm going to turn my chair sideways. Hopefully, this will give you a better view of the area that we're hoping to target. So I'm hoping that we'll get right into the thoracic area of our spine. And so here we go. IO. So as you're ready, begin by sitting up nice and tall. If you can, bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance, hips, knees, ankles in line. And then as you're ready, round your back. As you round your back, draw your chest in. So when I begin this movement, I like to place my fingertips at my sternum. So it's as if our sternum is moving in towards the back of the ribs. As ready, our sternum from here lifts, moves forward, shoulders back and down. On exhale, round your back. As you round your back, draw your chest in. So this piece will be kitten or cat. And hopefully you know who you are. On inhale, arch. And so you might notice that as we arch our back, our hands naturally have a tendency to slide in towards our hips. On the exhales, we round our back, hands naturally have a tendency to slide towards our knees. If your skin is sensitive, suggesting that you explore hovering just above your legs. And so move in your own time and rhythm. Move in a way that feels natural for you. So natural that perhaps your movements and your breath become one. And finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms down by your sides. And then maybe if you brought your feet a little wider than hip bone distance, toe heel in. And place your feet comfortably hip distance apart. And of course, I'm going to turn back facing. So a little invitation to do a little bum dance now, or maybe walk your hips forward in the chair a little, walk your hips back. So the idea is to facilitate or to be able to sit up nice and tall. So let's repose. Ground down through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. And if you don't feel your feet in the usual manner, if you have decreased sensation, I'd like to invite you to visualize your feet. So we know, of course, that imagination is powerful. Alternatively, if you're blessed with a yoga buddy, perhaps your yoga buddy with amazing body language will kneel in front of you and place their hands on your ankles. So that can help maybe give you an awareness, a little more awareness where your feet are. And so we'll ground down through our feet, center and ground through the soles of our feet. So we want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. Or root down through your sits bones. And you notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. You can do a little bum dance. Lengthen up through your spine, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And then when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to sitting up nice and tall, to reach one hand towards the earth. So if it is helpful, you might take hold of the other side of the chair. So reaching towards the floor as if you're reaching to pick something up. Keeping both sits bones on the chair, shoulder lined up with shoulder. If it's helpful, you can imagine you're seated between two panes of glass and then move from side to side. If it's helpful, maybe exhale as you reach towards the floor. Inhale, come back center. Exhale to the other side. Or maybe today it just feels good to inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. If you're feeling congested or you have an obstruction, breathe in whatever way you can. You might notice that as we warm up our spine, perhaps the movements become more easeful. Maybe we're able to go a little bit deeper. And finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. Rest your hands, palm up or down as desired. Take a moment. And from here, let's come into a seated twist. So I'd like to invite you to maybe toe heel out to the side a little bit so that your knees are wider than outer hip bone distance. Sitting up nice and tall. I like to begin with my fingertips at the base of my lumbar spine. And so moving up one vertebrae at a time. So as we inhale, things expand. So we'll lengthen our spine. On exhale, coming into the twist, moving up one vertebrae at a time. And our shoulders come into it a little more. And then our head comes into it last. So So I'm going to encourage you to resist the temptation to move your head to its full range of movement. Keep your head in line with your spine. And then let's explore moving dynamically, twisting from side to side. So one of the things that I like about sliding my hands along my thighs is it increases our proprioceptive awareness. Okay, so you might be hovering above if your skin is sensitive. And so proprioceptive awareness, a big phrase for knowing where our body is in relation to space. And a gentle reminder, this is a gentle twist. We're not going to our full range of movement. And finish up the movement that you're on, toe heel back, arms by your side, then take a moment again. And allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. Are you noticing any subtle sensations? So trust that the sensations are there. It's not going to be a rocket ship across the sky. I don't think, anyway. These days. Which brings to mind pain care, pain management. And so frequently, if someone is participating in a chair yoga class, there might be pain associated intermittently in a person's life or daily. And so my intention always is to share the classes with pain care, pain management in the mix for sure. And it is actually a huge topic. However, I am delighted to share and to know that there's huge amount of research that's been done and that continues to be done in that regard. And a lot of healthcare providers are incorporating pain care and pain management into their practices. And so for me, gentle movement. So the new advanced yoga is a gentle yoga practice, a slow yoga practice, pain care, pain management. And I also like to think in terms of trauma sensitive. So I don't know anyone on the planet these days that doesn't have some degree of trauma. And so again, another huge topic that I won't get into. We're just going to boogie woogie, keep moving. And so again, if you can bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance, go for it. If your knees are rotating inwards, take a less wide stride. If they're flopping out, might just adjust a little bit so that you can keep your hips, knees, ankles in line. And then place your hands at your hips, or you might hold your chair. Circle your heart forward, keeping sits bones on the chair. Now we're getting into our lower back and our hips a little more. Again, notice maybe how it feels to have your chin tucked in slightly, so that can give us a little nerve flossing for our neck. Can help quiet the mind. So your circles might be larger or smaller than mine. So you're moving in your own time and rhythm. And then it's ready, circle your heart. So in the opposite direction. Bring a gentle awareness to the space in front of you. As ready, bring your awareness to the space beside you and notice how that makes you feel. And take your awareness to the space above you. And especially an invitation to bring your awareness to the space behind you. And then moving away from me to we, to trust that we are being supported. And slowly come on back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms if you like, wherever it feels good for you. Place your feet comfortably hip distance apart. So a little cue for that might be two soft fists between your knees. I had a dear friend who was a wheelchair user, and she used to have a pummel um, between her knees that kept things nicely aligned for her. And so whatever works for you. So feel free to modify or adapt any way you'd like. If anything I share with you doesn't feel comfortable, you can skip it, come back to your breath. So if we're focused on our breath, we're practicing yoga. So it might be breath awareness. And so from here, let's repose now. So sitting up tall, ground down to your feet. And then I'd like to invite you to push one foot down into your footrest or the floor. And then alternative opposite foot down. And then maybe notice, can you feel one foot more than the other? As you push down, so adjust your feet if you need or want to. Right, so that might have something to do with your hips. Right. Lengthen up through your spine, shoulders up, back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And then when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to reach your arm up and then place your hand on the side of your head and create resistance. And switch sides. Again, if you have a yoga buddy that can help with the movements, that would be great. That's available to you. And then I'd like to invite you to maybe interlace your fingers or bring your hands to the base of your skull. If you happen to have a headrest or you're a wheelchair user, you can press your head gently against your headrest or maybe your partner's hands. Alternatively, if you're able to place your hands at the base of your skull, press your head gently against your hands. Remember your little half smile, your little Buddha smile. And sit up tall if you'd like, and it's available to you. Neither visualize or gently turn to the side, gaze softly. So not forcing the movement, but allowing it to happen. And come on back center. Tuck your chin in slightly, lengthen your spine, and then gently twist to the other side. And then come on back center, palms face down, release, and shake out. Whew, feel your work. Do a little wiggly fidget. I always say be creative. Creativity helps with anxiety. And so when you're ready, let's transition to a little bit of body tapping. So tap from the outside of your thighs, your hips. So if your skin is sensitive in areas, you can hover in those areas. And then come on down, only as far as feels comfortable for you. So if you happen to have acid reflux, maybe you have high or low blood pressure, you won't want to go down quite so far. And then come on up the inner legs, thighs. And don't be shy and get right into the groin area or your lymph nodes. And tap, tap, tap. I don't know, can you hear me tapping? Yeah, probably. No. So I just became aware that apparently I'm a percussionist. I had no idea. I just bang on things. And so now we're going to switch it up, and this is going to be good for brain health. Right. And so particularly our memory. So you bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance, go for it. And then we'll start with tapping from inner thighs, moving down and tap up the outside. So you can even do soft fists if that feels okay for you. Right, not one size fits all. Tap, tap, tap. And then when you're ready, sitting up tall, sweep your arms or your hands up your arms. So our hands are connected not only to our heart, but to our mind as well. And so sweeping up, I love me. And because I love me, I can love all of you. So that's my intention. And then when you're ready, lean forward a little bit in your chair, maybe massage your lower back. If you can reach up a little higher where your kidneys and adrenal glands live, send them some love. So it might be that you're visualizing sending your kidneys and adrenal glands love. So our kidneys and adrenal glands are close to the surface, so it's important to keep this area warm. And then when you're ready, you might place one hand on your sacrum, sit up tall, and then sweep your hands forward. So inhale, let, exhale, go. Inhale, let, exhale, go. Take a moment, notice how's your breath, our old friend, our breath. Maybe noticing any subtle sensations. And then when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to take your fingertips and tap the back of your neck. I'm going to remove the scarf. If your hair happens to be tied back, you might want to, we're going to do a little bit of Indian head massage. So I traveled all the way to India to learn this. And I also studied more locally Indian head massage. So you can bring your fingertips up to the crown of your head. And you could say, wake up, brain. Wake up, brain. Now, when I used to work afternoon shifts, I did this a lot. And now I'd like you to take your fingertips. And again, if you have a yoga buddy, this could be the bliss point. I want you to imagine you're shampooing your hair. So you're not just moving your hair around, you're actually moving your scalp around. And then if you don't mind messing up your hair a little bit, you can go wild and crazy. Waking up her brain. And then smooth your hair out. There you go. And then tap your sternum, so the center of our chest. So tapping here can be calming for our nervous system. So the trick is not to overdo it, however. And then when you're ready, relax your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. You can lean back in your chair and take a moment and notice maybe the effects of the body tapping. Notice how you feel. So not about what we look like in our yoga practice. The diagnostic tool is, how do I feel? No judgment. So yoga meets us exactly where we are. So from here, I think I'd like to share a practice called breath of joy. And so the way it's practiced, you want to make sure that we're going to be extending our arms if that works for you and linking our breath with our movements. And so make sure there's no hard surface to whack your hand on. I did that earlier this morning on the stove. Not much fun. Thankfully, for me, swearing diminishes pain. One good use of the F word. Maybe, not always. It depends. And so you want to be able to extend your arms out to the sides, and then we're going to reach up overhead as well. And so make sure you have lots of space. And so walk your hips forward a little bit, walk back, or do a little bum dance. Your feet are placed evenly on the floor on your footrest. We're sitting up tall. And so here we go. Breath of joy. 3 inhales through your nose, and then the exhale happens naturally. We'll do 3 rounds. So inhale, 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 and drop. 2 more rounds. Inhale, 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 drop. 1 more round. Breath of joy. Inhale, 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 and drop. Nice. I think we need to do one more. I don't see enough smiles. Here we go. Inhale, 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 and drop. Okay. So let's get into maybe our legs a little more. So I'd like to invite you now to come seated back in the chair. And this might be a piece, of course, that if you're needing or wanting to visualize the movement, that might be the way to go. Alternatively, sitting up nice and tall, of course, for everyone. If you're able to, I'd like to invite you to come up onto your toes and roll back on your heels. Up on the toes, back on your heels. So you're rolling up onto the balls of your feet and then back on your heels. Maybe I'll just have you find your little bit so you can see my feet, my two left feet. So up on the toes and back on the heels. And then maybe alternate from side to side. Maybe notice, can you feel one foot more than the other? If it feels okay for you, maybe toe healing out to the side. Toe heel, little chair yoga dance. And then come on back, center. And so sit up nice and tall, ground down through your feet, center ground through the soles of your feet. Lengthen up through your spine, right up through to the crown of your head. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And then when you're ready from here, I'd like to invite you to hug one knee in towards your chest and belly. Right, so if you're hugging your knee in, make sure you place your hands behind your knee, not in front. That can be hard on the knees. And then release back down. So sit up tall, other side. Hug your knee in towards your chest and belly. And release. Nice. So I'll show you, let's practice this one more time on each side. And this time I want you to notice, can you feel one hip more than the other? Hug your knee in, away you go. And release. And other side. Need a chest pose. And release. Awesome. Okay. So take a moment and just maybe notice, did you feel one hip more than the other? So as human beings, we tend to be tighter on one side than the other. So just noticing. And so from here, I'd like to invite you to, again, sit up nice and tall, ground down through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet, lengthen up through your spine, shoulders are up, back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. So from here, I'd like to invite you to explore coming into warrior two arms. So bring your arms up. So you can explore bringing your arms in line with your shoulders. If this feels a little too intense, maybe back off a little bit. You turn your palms face up. So you rotate palms up. Rotate palms down. So thumbs rotate down towards the earth. And I'd like you to notice, does it feel better to have your palms up or palms down? And then when you're ready, if it feels okay for your neck, turn a soft gaze looking past your middle finger, or at least in that direction. And so you choose the side. Alternatively, if that bothers your neck, keep a soft gaze forward. And bring your head back center, palms face down, release. Oof. Feel your work. They don't call them warrior arms for nothing. So here we go. Reach up, Spiral your palms open. And again, take a moment. Does it feel better? Palms up or palms down? And then sitting up nice and tall. So soft gaze forward. If it feels okay for your neck, turn a soft gaze, looking past your opposite middle finger. So you're broad through the collarbones, extend beyond your wrists to your fingertips. And palms face down, release. Shoulders up, back and down, little wiggly fidget. So I definitely want to transition into sun salutation, modified seated. However, before we go there, let's get our hands or fingers a little more active. So I'd like to begin by inviting you to massage your hands. Even your wrists. And maybe take a look at your hands with appreciation for all that they do. And then when you're ready, I'm just going to come in a little closer. And I think at this point, I'm just going to turn the viewfinder up. So I'm working from my iPhone. And so the screen is not huge. And I just had my second eye surgery. My eyes are doing amazing. I have 20/20 vision. However, I need reading glasses now. So such is life. So blessed to live in a world where I can have 20/20 again. So here we go, IO. So what I wanted to show you is that there's a point in the middle of your hand, right in the middle of your hand, that if you can, you take your thumb and massage there. And so in yoga speak, that's called a marma point. And massaging in that area can help soften your hands. So we hold a lot of tension in our hands. Our hands are connected to our heart. And then to the other. And then if you like, so acupressure points all along the outside of our fingers. So massage from the base of your thumb and each finger and just pull. And then other side, massage. Nice. And then when you're ready, let's play a little air piano. And then maybe tapping from your pinkies to your thumbs. And thumbs to pinkies. So these movements can be challenging. We're not all pianists. This can be challenging. So focus on what you can do. I can and I will. So micro movements, visualizing the movement, all great to help make those neural connections, strengthen your hands. And then when you're ready, maybe moving from right to left. And then I'd like to invite you sitting up tall to extend one arm forward, palm up. Rest your arm on your lap or have your arm up higher if you want. And we'll transition into a practice for our brain health, particularly our memory. So I'm going to deconstruct this a little. We'll start with one arm. And I'd like you to press a fair amount of pressure into each fingertip. And so index, middle, ring, pinky. Index, middle, ring, pinky. And now let's add the other hand as well. So we have right, left, parts of the brain going on. So index, middle, ring, pinky. And now we're going to add a sound to the movement. And the sound is a little children's song that's quite beautiful. And so you're welcome to treat this as a meditation, or if you'd like to repeat the words of the song with me, that's great. And so as we press into each fingertip, and the little song goes like this. Peace begins with me. 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 And now in a whisper, peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. And silently, peace. And then when you're ready, extend your arms up. So extend beyond your wrists, your fingertips. Get bigger in space. We tend to shrink. And then shake your hands like you're shaking water off your hands. Okay, so repose. Feels like time is going quickly today. So you can walk your hips forward a little bit, walk back, your little bum dance. So feet are placed evenly on the floor. If you need or want to, you can walk your feet forward a little bit. Place your knees so that they're comfortably hip distance apart, your feet. And then I'd like to invite you to place your feet parallel. And I want you to notice, how does it feel to have your feet placed parallel? So if having your feet parallel feels comfortable for you, in other words, stable, wonderful. That said, it is not one size fits all. So I'd like you to place your feet in whatever way feels comfortable for you. And so ground down through your feet, centering ground through the soles of your feet. Or ground down through your sits bones. Notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Lengthen up through your spine, right up through to the crown of your head. Shoulders up, back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. Now from here, we'll transition into sun salutation. So bring your arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Bring your hands to your heart space. Bow your head to your heart. Reach your arms up, so gentle back arch. Lift from above your shoulder blades, lift your heart. Hinging at the hips, come into a forward fold. So take hold of the underside of the chair. Tuck your chin in slightly. Forward fold, flat back. Pushing down through your inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh. Come back up to a neutral spine. Come into a lunge. So visualizing the movement, or if possible, tuck your leg under the front of the chair. Toes tucked under. If you'd like to add your arms, you could place one hand at your hip, the same leg that's tucked under, the other on your thigh, or hold the chair. Alternatively, it might feel okay to bring your arm up into goalposts, or maybe today it feels good to reach up and over. So you choose. And palm face down, step your leg forward. Downward facing dog, modified for the chair. So toe heel out a little bit if that feels okay. Hinging from the hips, come forward, place your forearms on your lap. Lengthen your spine. So feel that nice diagonal line. Tuck your chin in slightly. Adjust your feet a little if you need to. And then let's come into baby cobra. Hands on your thighs. Lower your head and then lift up through the crown of your head. Imagine that beautiful baby cobra. And downward facing dog, forearms on your lap, lengthen your spine, chin in. Pushing down through your inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh, come back up to a neutral spine. Let's come into a lunge on the other side. So you're visualizing the movement today. Maybe with a little guidance, placing your leg under the front of the chair, toes tucked under. Arm comes to whatever feels good for you. Hand at your hip and goalposts, or maybe reaching up along your ear. Step your leg forward. Release your arm down. And then from here, downward facing dog. This time I'd like to give you a second variation. So it might be that it feels okay to place your arms on a diagonal. Your hands are reaching towards where the seam and the ceiling meet the wall. Alternatively, if you prefer to have your arms on your thighs, go for it. Again, feel that lovely diagonal line. Then baby cobra, place your hands on your thighs. Lower your head, then lift up through the crown of your head. Downward facing dog. So the choices are forearms on your lap or arms on a diagonal. Pushing down through your inner heels, place one hand on each of your thigh. Come on back up to a neutral spine. So let's practice one more round. Arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Take your hands to your heart space, bow your head to your heart. Reach your arms up, gentle back arch. Lift from above your shoulder blades, lift your heart. Hinging at the hips, come into a forward fold, tuck your chin in slightly. Lengthen your spine, so nice flat back. Pushing down through your inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh, come on back up. So let's come into a lunge. This time starting on the opposite side, tuck your leg under the front of the chair. Bring your arm to your place if you'd like to add your arm. Hand at your hip and goalpost, or maybe reaching up along your ear. Powerful pose. Float your arm down, step your leg forward. Hinging at the hips, downward facing dog. So forearms on your lap. Let's do the forearms on the lap this time. Lengthen your spine, chin in. Baby cobra, hands on your thighs, lower your head, lift up through the crown of your head. Downward facing dog, forearms on your lap. Push your sits bones back in the chair, lengthen your spine, chin in. Pushing down through your inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh, come back up. Seated up nice and tall. Let's come into the lunge on the other side. Tuck your leg under the front of the chair. Hand at your hip and goalposts are reaching up along your ear. Float your arm down. Step your leg forward, hinging at the hips. Spiral your palms open and reaching up to the sky. Gentle back arch. And this time, maybe our hands come together in prayer down through to the heart. Place one hand on your yoga belly, the area between your navel and your pubic bone, the other on your heart space. And maybe notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And then come on, seated back comfortably. So we're going to come down off the mountain. And I'd like you to take a moment or two, eyes closed softly or soft gaze downwards, and ask yourself, is my body talking to me? And if so, what does it say? So body talk. So do whatever your body's asking of you. So it might be a repetition of something we did earlier in the practice. So an opportunity to do your own thing. And so I think we'll transition into a short guided relaxation, final relaxation. And so I'm just going to see if Evie, my bunny rabbit, would like to join us for this piece. I'll just be 2 shakes of a rabbit's tail. Feel free to adjust your lighting. Feel free to recline. So I heard one of my friends say once not too long ago that the right way to meditate is whatever way feels comfortable for you. So you could be reclined, you could be seated. Make sure that you're comfortable. So I'm just going to go over here just so that you can follow me a little bit. So I live in a little Panama cabin in the woods, and EB has his happy places. Beavers, Mama pick you up, love. Baby. So I just started teaching indoors again because it's getting a little nippy out. So EB is not an outdoor rabbit. He's actually paying the mortgage, so he gets the entire space except for the office. So this is EB. He says, hello, everyone. I hope you're chill, meaning relaxed. And we're going to sit down. So feel free to have if you have a fur kid, have your fur kid nearby. And then an invitation to your reclined or seated, relaxed. However, you're still alert, you're still awake, in other words. And so an invitation to join me in a meditation that I love. I learned it from Thich Nhat Hanh, Zen Buddhist monk, brilliant, heart-centered, passed away for a few years ago in his 90s. And frequently this piece is something I like to share in the class at the end. And so it goes like this. Look down and into your heart. First of all, see what you can see, and then breathe into your heart. And so if it feels comfortable to remove your glasses, go for it. And so breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. And breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I release. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. So we'll just sit in silence for a moment or two with a gentle reminder. Breathing. And so come into whatever comfortable position you'd like for your final relaxation. So this is meant to be a deep, conscious relaxation. We're not meant to fall asleep in it. And so if you're in a regular chair, it might feel good to place your chair against a wall so that you can lean back, maybe support for your head and neck. If you're reclined, a suggestion that you not have a bridge between your neck and your shoulders, so you have something supporting your neck and your head. And feel free to adjust your lighting. Eyes are closed softly, focused inward or soft gaze downwards. And so soft palms, resting palm up or down as desired. Soft palms, soft yoga belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Quiet breath. Allow the breath to reflect the pose. Relax your jaw. Unclench your teeth. Let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Wide forehead. Silently, if you'd like, on inhale, saying let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. It's challenging to quiet the mind. Placing our hands on our yoga belly and bringing our awareness to our breath can be helpful. And without changing anything, bring your awareness back to your breath. And thank your body. Thank your body again. Our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale and lengthen your exhale. If your eyes are closed, gently blink your eyes open. And then I'd like to invite you to find a comfortable sitting position and to take a look around the space that you're in and name 3 objects that you see to bring us back to make those neural connections. Well, thank you, everyone. Notice how you feel before and after yoga, questions or feedback. Love to hear from you. I'm totally open to spending a few moments after if you want to hang out. Kassar will facilitate that, my amazing tech host. And so the teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in each of you. Om, peace, peace, peace. Thank you. And I'm just going to come in a little closer. Actually, maybe I can move my phone closer. The easier, softer way. There we go. Woohoo.
Thank
Hi.
you, Bobbie.
You're welcome, Mercedes. Thank you.
That was really nice. Thank you.
Yay. Means I did my job.
Yeah.
So lovely to see some new faces and some old friends.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Travis. Thank you.
Yeah. See you next week.
Righto, you bet. I'll be here. Be there, be square. Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Okay. See you guys next week.
Yeah. Bye, Kassar. Thank you.